Love is Blind Season 8 has come to an end. We don't have no time to waste. Let's get into these weddings. Hey y'all, it's Nae. Welcome back to my little corner of YouTube. This video will contain spoilers for Love is Blind Season 8, the weddings. So if you haven't seen them yet and you do not want spoilers, save this video and come back after you do. You are about to hear my thoughts on the weddings, but of course I want to hear yours, so feel free to drop your thoughts below if you do want to participate in the conversation, and give this video a like before you go so I know you enjoyed it. So this Sunday, March 9th is the reunion. I'm going to be holding a watch party over on Discord so we can watch it together. It's 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time, and we're gonna start pretty on time because I know we want to get to the hopeful tea that comes out of these weddings. The link is in the description box, so make sure you join the server so that we can watch the reunion together and kiki and chit chat while it's going down in real time. And now that I got that out of the way, I just have one tiny small question. What the hell did we just witness? I had the weddings on casually in the background. I had my AirPod in, I was walking around, I was doing other stuff, and then stuff started getting weird. Stuff started getting weird, and I really had to lock the hell in because I was like, what's going on with these weddings right now? I really don't even know who I should talk about first. I really think I'm about to start a petition so that they can start doing a countdown for these I do's. I need the officiant to be like, on the count of 3, you're both gonna say I do or I don't. Because really, I'm tired of wondering what the person who was gonna go second would have said if the first person said no. What the fuck happened with Monica and Joey? Now I know some of y'all gonna be like, I saw this coming the whole time. I could tell Monica wasn't into Joey, Joey wasn't into Monica. Whatever y'all gonna say, I didn't see it. Okay, I thought they were locked the hell in. So much so that when Monica was getting ready to walk down the aisle and she was having conversations with her friends and family about the fact that Joey was too detached from his emotions, I could have really bet any amount of money that that was a staged conversation just to try to manufacture a little bit of doubt and a little bit of drama before the wedding.
He's very analytical.
Yeah.
And he's not a very emotional person.
Is he good at reassuring you with his lack of emotion? You know, that would be so hard for me.
So it's a little uncomfortable for me to just really trust in his words rather than seeing his emotion.
I thought they had no issues. I really didn't think that that was a problem. And I don't even really remember his lack of emotion coming up throughout the season. Now, I could be wrong. You know, these episodes are an hour long. We know how long the hour has been this season. So I could have very well missed that. Let me know if I did. But the only time I really remember the fact that she felt like he wasn't there enough emotionally or he wasn't as physical as she liked was literally on their final date. When she brought up the fact, oh, well, you know, you put your hand on my leg and that's doing a little better. He was like, yeah, I am doing a little better.
I tried to work to improve that a little bit. Did you notice that I was
1000% notice, yes.
I was trying to get better at it? Or?
Absolutely. I 150% saw you try more. I don't need you to be pinning me against a wall in a park. Yeah, the little things, like a hand on the knee if we're sitting by each other, maybe.
Yeah. That's the only time I remember hearing anything in this realm. And so I didn't think that was enough for her to say no at the altar. I was genuinely shocked. I was watching them oh yeah, of course they're gonna be so easy. I don't really need to pay too much attention to what's going on. And then I had to pay attention real quick after that. Especially because of the fact that in Joey's interview before they walked down the aisle, he was saying he was so in touch with his emotions.
Although I am a very analytical person, I am also a person that is very in touch with my emotions. And when I get up to the altar, it's purely in the moment for me. If I'm feeling that it's right, it's gonna be a yes.
And it's probably those two differing viewpoints that led them to both be like, yeah, no, this ain't gonna work out. I was just so sure that it was a guaranteed yes with both of these people, and I just don't know. I'm genuinely confuzzled right now. I really can't wait to see what happens at the reunion and what more comes out at the reunion. I will say though, Joey is too damn cool for school. He went down the aisle on a skateboard, and that's pretty iconic, I'm not gonna lie. And I also really love the slit that was in Monica's dress. I know she loved it too. She stayed talking about the slit. I thought it was chef's kiss. Why do people say chef's kiss? Anyway, right up until the end, Joey was a stand-up guy. So I really do think this is not about him being a terrible person. Whatever issues they had, they both decided that they had them.
Although we came here and this was our ultimate decision, I think there is still a ton of good, and just like my sister would if she was here, to find that, cherish that, and I'm sure Monica feels the same. So thank you so much. And we can end that on a happy note.
And I still agree with Joey saying that Monica's sister was fake AF because she was being fake AF right before the wedding too.
I still question if you can read people.
I'm very good at reading people.
But I think back in high school, it's you brought some questionable questionable people over.
That was like, what, like 15 years ago?
Then we have Devin and Virginia, and Devin was very genuinely shocked when Virginia said no. I mean, that man was down bad. He was boo-hoo crying. But then I also felt like he kind of should have known once he was listening to her vows, because in her vows she said,
"It was amazing getting to know your heart."
Now sure, there are plenty of ways that she could have said this experiment has been great. This just comes down to semantics, right? But I feel like she would have said it another way if her answer wasn't getting ready to be no. And then when the officiant asked her what her answer was, she started off saying, "You know I love you, right?" Us avid viewers of Love is Blind know that 9.9 times out of 10 when someone starts it off saying, "You know I love you, right?" it's about to be a no. Now what I was kind of shocked by was how Virginia's dad showed up for Devin in that moment, because he was visibly upset. I truly do get the vibe that no one, not even Virginia's family, knew what she was going to say at that altar, because her dad was also visibly, and if I'm remembering correctly, audibly shocked when she said no.
What?
Everybody thought they were such a good fit. Now, what almost got me and almost made me shed a tear was watching Devin's niece be so confused. Judging by how old she is, she looks to be about 4 or 5. I don't know. I don't have kids, so I don't be knowing how short they are when they're little kids. But she looks really young, and she sounds like a little kid. She just came out of toddler age type of young. And so she's probably really only seen weddings in movies, and she was genuinely and thoroughly confused at the fact that no one was happy, they didn't kiss at the end, you know, everyone wasn't being excited.
What happened? What's happening?
She said no.
And it really did break my heart, because I hate to see the light leave a child's eyes, and I felt like that's what happened to her in that moment. The little piece of her innocence was like, oh, they can say no? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm probably being very dramatic, but that did hurt my heart. I was like, damn, this little girl just realized that everything is not perfect, you know? I don't know. But at the end of the day, I am very happy that Virginia said no, because we all know that she needed to say no, and we all know that they didn't need to end up together. I feel like she's the type of person who says yes to people a lot just in order to keep the peace or not to hurt their feelings. And I get that vibe because of the way that she kept apologizing to people about a decision that she made for her life. She made a decision for her life, and she kept telling people sorry about it. The type of person who does that is constantly someone who's pleasing other people. She literally is the definition of a people pleaser. On top of that, her exit interview was bizarre. Why did she keep saying that she was protecting Devin? A lot of the things that she did throughout the season were in order to protect Devin.
I think in a lot of our relationship, I wanted to protect Devin. It was important for me to protect Devin. And I don't know if that's a cultural thing, but like, it's important. It's always been important for me to protect him.
This is just based off of what we saw, right? But I really do get the vibe that off cam, they maybe did start to touch on some of these serious subjects, and it came out that Devin has some less than PC political and worldly views, and Virginia knows that he would get dragged to no end for that stuff, and so she's saying she's protecting him by not bringing that stuff up on cam, which again would make her a genuine soul and a people pleaser. I don't know, obviously I'm just taking a guess based off of what she said. Maybe some of the stuff will come out at the reunion. But based off the fact that a lot of their disconnect has been worldly views and political belief systems, I'm going to take a guess that she was protecting him politically. That's just the vibe that I'm getting. While simultaneously trying to maybe tweak his viewpoint or change his mind by softly bringing these things up on camera. Oh, well, tell me about this. Okay, well, tell me how your family votes. Well, what do you think about abortion? What do you think about, you know, I think that gay people should have rights. She was slowly trying to pick his brain more and maybe softly guide him in the right direction. And maybe that's why on camera he just kind of stayed silent and didn't really say anything versus having like a strong opinion. Now, Miss Bonnie, and girl, correct me if I'm not saying your name right, you brought to my attention that Virginia's mom is actually a political figure. Mary Frances Clarity, I think that's right, is a Minnesota House representative. And to me, this kind of explains everything. Her mother has a political image to maintain, which means that anyone in her immediate family has a political image to maintain. If the worst that we could say about Virginia after seeing her on this very highly viewed reality TV show is that she's boring, then we have nothing to say about her. And that's probably the way that she wanted it. And I respect it. I watch people drag the Obama daughters for being regular ass college students just because they were supposed to hold some image because their father was the president. Meanwhile, we have actual sitting political figures running around like they're in an episode of a show that Shonda Rhimes wrote. And there is no Olivia Pope coming to save them.
Do you see this man standing here?
Yes.
Wrong answer.
Even stranger about Virginia's exit interview is the fact that she alluded Devin may have tried to steal or maybe hide some money from her because somebody gave them a check as a wedding gift.
Devin received a check.
for a wedding present. And his mom was like, you know that so-and-so gave you guys a check for a wedding present. And I was just waiting to see if he would bring it up, but he didn't. It made me not so trusting.
I definitely hope she goes into more detail on that at the reunion, because maybe he just forgot to tell her. You know, weddings are busy, you running around, all kind of stuff. She probably barely seen him. Maybe he just didn't mention, hey, somebody gave us a check. I don't know if he probably gave the check back, right? That would be the decent thing to do because they didn't get married. As for Sara and Ben, I predicted that they both would say yes, simply based on how they were talking about each other and how they were saying people just didn't understand. Sara kept saying, you guys don't know, like he makes me feel the best ever, all these things. But I have a sneaking suspicion that her sister grabbed her by her arms right before this wedding, shook her a little bit and was like, girl, come to your damn senses. Tell this man no. But Sara is basically saying that she knew it wasn't meant to be from the moment that he didn't have a definitive opinion on George Floyd. So I don't really know how we even got all the way to the altar if she knew that in the pods. Maybe she was just holding out hope that he misspoke or something and was more open to actually learning than he was. And then with how religious he was, it just wasn't meant to be. And you know what? This all worked out exactly the way it was supposed to work, because after she said no, Ben's friends was praying for him and they even prayed for her.
Heavenly Father, thank you for this awesome time. Lord Jesus, thank you so much for Ben. Thank you so much for Sara. I just pray that they both know that regardless of where they're at, Lord, they can always call upon you.
Meanwhile, she don't give a damn about that, like I said. So in my opinion, it would have never worked out. And I don't know why Ben was saying, oh, well, maybe we can try to date after this. No, it's a done deal, bro. I feel like anybody who has tried to date after someone said no at the altar post-show, it just didn't work out, because if you couldn't make it work then, you're not going to make it work after the fact. I actually think all of the seasons where someone has tried to do that has basically ended up with a 0% success rate. Let me know if y'all can think of anybody who dated post-no at the altar and made it work. The only couple that I can actually really think about is Jackie and Josh from season 4, but they didn't even get engaged. It was just that Jackie was messing around with Josh behind her actual fiance's back during the show. So they don't even count as that because they weren't an engaged couple. And I don't even think they're together anymore, though they did last longer than I thought they would. There really isn't too much else to say about Ben and Sara. I think we all could see early on that their values were not aligned, and ultimately that's what ended up being a no for Sara. Ben needs to go find him a trad wife. He would be very happy with a trad wife, and a trad wife would be very happy with him. And Sara did kind of eat when she said,
but you cannot date someone for their potential.
Also, I have zero idea who this guy is, but his flabbers were the fuck gassed it, okay? He was so confused when she said no. As for Taylor and Daniel, these two are the only two that we pretty much consistently have not had to worry about once they cleared up that whole did Ben know her before type thing. And in hindsight, they're the only two that really make sense. Was Daniel's sister singing live at the wedding? She sounded really good, and you had to know that they were going to be the ones to say yes, because they had a whole live performance by the sister.
Falling in love with you.
Like, you can't really say no after that. Their love is so strong that bro went off script doing the vows.
Sitting on a knee after our first date. I fell in love with you because, this isn't even on here, I just feel this.
I really am wishing the best for them, and I expect them to still be together during the reunion, and I expect some exciting updates from them, regardless of what that been. Our year's been great, whatever it's gonna be. I'm expecting good news from them. I was looking at how elaborate their cake was, and I was wondering if Netflix has a baker or bakers on deck just ready to turn these cakes around at a moment's notice, because that's a pretty elaborate cake to make for people who you don't know are gonna get married. Like, what do they do with the cakes if people say no? I don't know. This season was lackluster, but I really do need Nick and Vanessa Lachey to lock the fuck in during the reunion, because there is potentially a lot of juicy, I feel like, tidbits that we can get out of this reunion. I want to know about this stolen check. I want to know really what went down with Monica and Joey. I have questions. Again, we will be watching the reunion together on my Discord server, so make sure you join. The link is in my description box. And until then, I'll see y'all later. Bye! Excellent. This video is going to be kind of short because it's usually about half the time that I actually recorded. I recorded for 22 minutes and 42 seconds, 43 seconds, 44 seconds, 45 seconds. So it's probably going to be about a 10-ish minute video. So I should be able to get this turned out pretty quickly. All right, bye y'all. Of YouTube, this video... I should tighten that. Anyway, for them to start doing a countdown for that she was collecting him. Even stranger about... I was about to call her Vanessa. Well, I thought my camera wasn't on. Ooh, the fuck is maybe Emily? Has my mic been on? Oh, it has. Excellent. Mic is on like I'm Prince, period.
I am a musician. I don't sample. I go on stage and my microphone is on.